Hey everybody, my name is Magiccon and this is Dinosaurs. We got Bloomburrow news, and if you notice by the thumbnail, there's a specific reason that this video is being made. So, there have been multiple new creature artworks announced. It seems the Bloomburrow theme is a team of adorable little animals, each with a specific weapon or item of some kind that is helping them battle against elemental beasts that threaten their land, which, cool, I like that premise. I especially like it more that there's a bat, though. If I'm being completely honest, I mean, the only reason anything gets done on this YouTube channel is when there is news about bat cards, i.e. Ixalan. So, Mankey is happy. As for the rest of the team, we have Mabel, heir to Cragflame. That one was already revealed. That is the mouse of the group. It gives other mice +1/+1, and when it enters, you can create Cragflame, as is its specific magical item. It seems that every animal in this group has a magical item. There is a lizard whose favorite set is obviously Kamigawa because it is holding a pair of blades. A badger with an elemental gauntlet who appears to have fun crushing the skulls of other creatures. A rabbit with a bow that seems to be made of some kind of branch. A frog with a magical scepter of some sort. And of course, last but not least, the obvious favorite of mine, the bat with a cloak and crown sort of thing, or an ornamental earpiece. I'm not entirely sure. Point is, it looks really cool. So I thought it would be fun to sort of speculate on what the creatures that haven't been revealed yet, color pairings might be, and see how close we are when the set comes out. Because honestly, I think that the bat one in particular, at least for me, needs to be a very specific color pairing because I don't want another repeat of Aquazats. Not that I don't love Aquazats, but you gotta admit having people discard their lands to get more bats is a lot Aquazats. I think what's interesting is that the mouse is Boros and it creates equipment, so I think it's a safe bet that might just be because it's Boros. I don't think the other animals are going to create the equipment that they're equipped with in their art, but I do think it will come into play somehow. Case in point, the badger seems to have an elemental arm gauntlet that could be a remnant of one of the elemental beasts that these party members are having to battle, or a reward from some kind of battle that the badger was in. I'm not entirely sure. If we go based on the mouse for the rest of the animals, we could probably assume that they might be dual-colored, or two colors. At least I think so. It's a little dodgy on the artwork to try to pin down what they are. So I think first up, we start with the badger. The badger, I feel like, is definitely Gruul. They just exude Gruul energy. Like the skull-crushing thing feels very Gruul. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gruul. And I don't know how the gauntlet's going to come into play. Like I said, I don't think they're going to create the equipments like with the mouse because it's Boros, and that's a Boros thing. Although I will say it'll be really cool if each creature has the ability that the mouse has, where they all give their respective creature type +1/+1. So at the very least, they'll be somewhat good for tribal, regardless of what their second ability is. I think it's a pretty safe bet that the rabbit is going to be Selesnya. I feel like a lot of rabbits are either white or green, or maybe I'm just making an idiot of myself and I'm thinking of that one card from Baldur's Gate that makes rabbits. But Selesnya feels accurate because of the bow, so I'm going to go with Selesnya for the rabbit. It'll probably have reach too. I feel like that makes sense because it has the bow. Hey everybody, Future Mankey here. I just wanted to go over some stats for each of these creature types I thought were interesting. So, it turns out rabbits have a bunch of cards from all across the color wheel, although I guess I shouldn't say a bunch because there are only 10 rabbits pre-Bloomburrow. It looks like Bloomburrow is adding 2, one of which has already been revealed. It is Burke, Long, Ear of the Law, and this one that we're talking about in the video. And they, before Bloomburrow, already had 2 commanders, which means they were one-up on bats, and I hate them for it. Moving along to the badger, badgers actually have 7 creature cards in Magic, and none of them are commanders, so they definitely needed to add this guy into Bloomburrow. I'm glad Badgers are getting a commander. Frogs actually have 42 cards in Magic the Gathering, and 6 of them are commanders. Granted, 2 of them are versions of Yargle, and 2 of them are versions of the Gitrog monster, but hey, that's still 6 commanders, so that's pretty decent. Mice have actually never had a commander until Bloomburrow, where we are getting Mabel heir to Cragflame, so I'm really glad there is mouse representation. I think that's really cool. Obviously, we're not counting the one from Unfinity, because that one is stupid and does sticker stuff. Lizards actually have 77 cards already in Magic, and only 2 commanders. And this time we're not counting the Unfinity one, because that one's not legal. Because that set is nothing if not consistent. And finally, last but not least, bats have 32 creatures in Magic, and 1 commander. Granted, there are 2 uncards in the bats, one of which is a commander, and one of which is just a regular creature, but I was able to immediately tell that they were separate because they have silver borders!
You had one job. Just the one?
Anyway, sorry this turned into a rant about Unfinity. That set is garbage, and now I hate it even more. As long as we're talking about new things and complaining about stuff, they changed enters the battlefield to just enters. That's stupid. Change it back. I don't know why they did that. They don't need to add so much text on the cards. What is going on? Whoever made that decision should not be in charge of making that decision. Anyway, stats and rant over. Back to past, Mankey. Thank you for coming to my rant talk.
I don't know why. I feel like the lizard could be Rakdos. It just, like, feels kind of Rakdos-y. If only because Selesnya was taken, Boros is taken, assuming they don't double up. Maybe the lizard is also Boros, but I feel like the lizard is probably going to be Rakdos. The flaming blades just kind of give that vibe to me. I feel like the frog is most likely Simic. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Frogs just kind of feel Simic-y to me. And I don't know what that will do with it being a sort of spellcaster. Maybe it'll lean on the more blue side of Simic, but it'll be cool to see what they do with it. And last but not least is the bat, and quite honestly, if it's not Orzhov, I'm gonna riot, because I want an Orzhov bat commander so bad! We got so close with Aquazats. And I'm glad we got Aquazats, and I shouldn't lick a gift bat in the mouth, but oh my god, that thing is so mean! So, the bat I'm fairly certain is going to be Orzhov, especially if it has the +1/+1 that the mouse does. Maybe they all do, but if it's wanting to be more effective with all the other bats, it's got to be Orzhov, because then you can fit them all in there. Except for Voidwing, but nobody cares about Voidwing. Unless there's going to be some 3-color animals in here, in which case maybe the bat is Esper, I don't know. But that is my guess. So I'm going, and please, flame me in the comments. I don't know how the color pie works, I'm sure, and all my predictions suck. So yeah, I'm locking in. Badger is Gruul, Frog is Simic, Bunny is Selesnya, Lizard is Rakdos, and Bat is Orzhov. And obviously Mouse is Boros, we already got that one revealed. So those are my guesses, and those are the main things, the main characters from that set. But we also got the Commander Precons revealed, so those actually look pretty interesting. We got Animated Army, Family Matters, Peace Offering, and Squirreled Away. Animated Army makes me think it's going to be a lot of artifacts coming to life, and they're going to get really big, because the tagline literally says, make trash do smash. And then Family Matters is Jeskai, which I think is funny because it says, make offspring go wide. The commander seems to be a stork of some kind, and I feel like we already got this with Kaikar, right? Like, Kaikar can do the Jeskai tokens thing, so I don't know what this will differ from. I'm surely Kaikar will be in here. If Kaikar is not in here, I will be shocked if this deck is doing token stuff and Kaikar's not in here with those exact colors. Then we get Peace Offering, that looks like Bant.
It's a group hug. It's group hug +1/+1 counters. That is gonna. How is that? How does that work? Ban group hug +1/+1 counters. I don't know how that will work, but I'm excited to see. You're just getting. I mean, once something's big enough, it gives better hugs, I guess. I don't know. So then the last one is squirreled away. It is Golgari. You get horde tokens and squirrels. Both are terrible. That sounds awful. I hate squirrel tokens. They're one of my least favorite creature types. There's too many of them. It's not that I'm jealous that they have more cards than bats at all. And then there's Fox Jace, so that's odd. He's there now. I don't know why, but he's in Bloomburrow, and I can only assume that means that if... I think that's Jace. I'm assuming Fox Jace is just Jace, which leads to the question of, if a Planeswalker goes to Bloomburrow, will they just turn into an animal? And does that affect every Planeswalker? What happens if Nicolelos goes to Bloomburrow? Like, I have questions. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Bloomburrow looks cool. There's a bat in it. It's literally the only reason I made this video. I love bats, and I love that card. It's not even out yet, but I don't care, because I'm gonna make a commander deck of it. Like and subscribe, hit the bell. That's the video, everybody. Bye!